Yeah, so everyone listen here. So I just told you, in some cases, you may get the error for the port numbers, okay? You may get error for the port numbers. So in that case, as I told you, na, so here you need to assign it as 0. You will give the port number as 0. So it will automatically assign the available port numbers randomly. Hmm? So I'm just giving it 0. So better you do this only because there is some issue in your labs. Okay. So inventory, I'm selecting that and just start the server. So you can just look here 55789. Randomly it will generate the port numbers 55789. So you need to open this port number. And what is this context path? Inventory. The context path is inventory. So I'll open a browser 55789. Yeah, 55789 inventory. 55789 inventory. Okay. This is the thing. So just make sure that you do that, people. Hmm? So yesterday we were stuck here in the product list. We're not able to display the product list, is it not? We're not able to display the product list. We are able to create a new product. We are able to create a new product. So I'll just add a new product, for example. So you'll get this, is it not? So let's add a pen drive. So brand HP India. So price 750. Okay. So in this case, we are able to save the product. We were able to save the product, but it was not displaying the this particular page. Okay. But your product was saving. Your product was saving. Only thing is the JSP file had a problem because of JSTL. So just look here. The product I inserted pen drive HP 750 rupees. It's in your table. Plus, it will also go and store it in the database. So you can just see here the product table and we have it here. HP pen drive for 750 bucks. Got it? So what was the issue yesterday was because of the JSTL. So under views, we had created a products.jsp file. Fine. So we had this as we used the previous case. Now in the JSP also we use this JSTL tags only. This only tag lib. Okay, we have to use this only, not the Jakarta one. But version of JSTL should be different. Hmm? So just look here tag lib URI. It is same JSTL tags we use in JSP. Hmm? So why we use JSTL tags? For dynamic operations in JSP file. So we can just look here for each, for all these things we are use that. And we're displaying ID, name, all those things. So in the pom.xml, yeah, so I use this version. This version. Okay, so only this, for this Spring Boot version, only this version of JSL will work. And again from org.glassfish.web. Okay, so this is basically for which one? The JSTL dependency. Yeah, so this is the JSTL dependency. Hmm? So basically, you need to, this was the issue. Then nothing was a problem. Yeah, so we have your JSTL dependency. Okay. And remember, when you're using JSP, we need to include which one? Tomcat Embed Jasper. This is the main thing. Yes. So these are the things. Then rest are all same. Whatever I done previously, the pom.xml, whatever is selected in the beginning. Hmm? So JSL will be used only when we are using JSP as the views. Otherwise, this is not a issue. Yeah. So in terms of coding part, just to recap, SRC main Java, we have a base class, inventory application. Okay. So this is a startup file. This is a startup file. So this will act as a component scan or a base package. So all your controller should be under this file. So we have a controller with the annotation controller, and we have a product service. So before that, I just want to show you about repository. We have a product repository. Yesterday we created that interface product repository, which extends JPA repository. For product class, ID type is long. So it consists of predefined methods for database operations like save, delete by ID, find by ID, and find all. You need not write any logic here. So this should be called from where? From the service class. This should be called from the service class. But if you want to call from the service class, you need to create a instance of the product repository, prepo, and we need to do dependency injection. It will be auto wired. Okay. So yesterday we did this. Simply we wrote a method prepo.save. What is this? We're calling a JPA repository method, which just I explained previously. Now this is what we were doing yesterday. We got an error because of JSTL tag. What is that? Find all, which is also defined in a JPA repo. So name of the method is list all, and the return type of this is array list. Why? There will be many products. That's why. So this method we're just trying to call from where? From the product controller. From the product controller. So that's nothing but save product. Okay. So we have created a form for saving a product. So we are entering the details. So then it should go for which one? Save. So just to recap, we have a add product.jsp file, which is having a form action as save, and the model attribute equals product. So this is also, I just want to tell you, here we are using what? Spring MVC forms. Spring MVC forms are data driven. They are directly mapped with what? The model classes. So that is why we are using that. So form ID, just look, your Spring MVC forms are prefixed with the form keyword. On every field, there will be, every tag, there will be form keyword. So action equals save, and it will create an object with the name product. Okay. So when you click on submit, I mean to say this part. Five 55908. Yeah, this is the issue. Okay. Because it randomly gives that. So when you click on save, what happens? It will call the save. What is this? Basically, a method in the product controller. It's a method in a product controller. This. So this will try to save a product. It will take this object using model attribute annotation. Product. Whatever you given a model attribute. So just look here. This is, we are using Spring MVC forms. If you're using HTML forms, this is not required. If you're using HTML forms, this is not required. We are using Spring MVC forms. These are data bound. So I need to create an object. You can just see here. While displaying the form, this is just look here, we're displaying a form. It will create an object product, and we're adding that to the attribute, and it is sent to the JSP file. So it returns view plus product object. So that is taken here in the model attribute. And whatever you enter here, whatever you enter here, the values will be part of which one? The product object we are specified using model attribute. Okay. So once you submit, it goes to the product controller and taken as a model with the model attribute annotation here. And here it is referenced with the name product. So we are trying to call a save product method. Where is it? It's a service method. And you're passing that product object. So whatever you enter here, that will be saved as what? Product object. That will be stored in the product object. And that product object you are sending to which one? Save product method. So here also you need to create an instance of P service. Here also we have created an instance of a P service. So using that P service.save product, you are sending that object to save. So we have a service class here. It is taken save product. That product is taken as P, and that's P is saved to the database. That P is saved as object to the database. Got it? So here, as I told you, so we have the predefined methods now. So that only we are trying to call this. So here we're just trying to save that product. Got it? So that is how we're able to save the product. So once you save the product, what happens, people? It will be added to the database. It will be added to the database. Just look here in the product controller. Once it is saved, okay, then we are redirecting to products. We are redirecting to the products. We are redirecting to the products. So what is this? Again, mapping name. Not a JSP file. We are returning to the products map. Redirecting. So return redirect to products. So it will open this. It will link to this particular method. What happens here? Here we are calling service.list all methods. Why? I want to fetch all the records. You can just see now. So when I just add a new product, so while logging in also, I'm just it will display the product.jsp file. So which the file is displayed? Which file is displayed here? Product.jsp. Okay. So similarly, as soon as you add a new product, then also it will redirect to product.jsp. So this is products.jsp means map with this particular method. So this method also returns what? Products.jsp file. So we are calling list all method of the service class here. So here we have a product controller. It will go to the product service. So here we have list all. Okay. And just look here, nothing we are doing. P repo dot find all. P repo dot find all. Nothing we are writing a code. Select star from customer. Creating a connection object. Nothing. Just we are calling the find all method, which is defined in the JPA repo. So, but what is the return type? List of type product. Yesterday we did now to display an employee. A static array list we created. The similar fashion we are trying to list the product. So now we'll go to the controller, is it not? So it will return the data to list products array list. We return the data to the list products array list. That is added as a attribute. Okay, so model.attribute list products. So that array list added as an attribute to the view and returns the product.jsp. So what does this as? View and product list. Okay. What is the use of model? Model is used to add a single attribute to the view. Model map is used to add multiple attributes to the view. So attributes can be a variable or a object or a collection, anything. So this view called as product.jsp will return view plus product list. Got it? So now we need to go to the products.jsp. You can just observe here. Here also we are using JSTL tags. Okay. And just observe here we are creating a table. We're creating a table. So we're displaying a table now, product ID name, all those things. Next, we are using the body, creating a table body. And I want to display n number of products. So that is why I'm using for each loop. We're using for each loop, which refers to list products. So what is this, people? Attribute which product.jsp has. From where it is passed? From the product controller. From the product controller. While returning view, it has the list products. It has list products. So in the JSP file product.jsp that we are trying to access directly. This is why I'm using what is that JSTL. Instead of that, I could have used scriptlet. But again, we have to get that request or get parameter, all those things we need to do. This is the easiest one, JSTL. On the view itself, we have what? That object of list products. So there might, if there are 100 products also will be here in this particular object of type array list. Okay. So we are having a list products. So this is a for each loop. This is a reference variable pointing to this. Now we are creating a link with the product ID. We are creating a link with the product ID because every product will be displayed based on what? Product ID. Okay. Now as of now, this is not mandatory. Leave it. Forget about this. We'll come to the row. So we are creating a for each loop with a reference variable product which is pointing to list products. So now all your data is where? In this reference variable. So I'm printing that product.id, product.name, brand, made in, and price. Okay. So that is where you're displaying ID, name, brand, made in, and price. The value stored in that using getter methods. Of course, it is done through which one? Getter methods of the model class. So this should be equivalent to what? Whatever you are specifying your ID, it should be equivalent to the model Pojo class. If there is a slight spelling mistake, will it work? Will throw an error. All these properties. Where is it? It's defined in the model class. So that is why you are displaying the products here. Okay. If there are 100 products based on the for each loop, number of count here, the loop will go on executing. Loop will go on executing. So that is why as you go on adding product, it will display here. Okay. So yesterday it was displaying in 5 minutes. The problem was with the JSTL version. JSTL version. And again, that JSTL version problem came because of what? Jakarta persistence. Why we are using Jakarta persistent? Because we are using Spring Boot version 3. So from Spring Boot version 3 onwards, we have to use what? Jakarta version. If you are using Spring Boot version 2 below 3, then Java X persistence will work. In that case, again, we can use the previous JSTL this thing only. Okay. So now we performed create and read. Now we have performed create and read. Under CRUD operations on product, we have performed create and read. So now we will do update and delete. Okay. So whenever you think about update and delete, the first thing you should come into picture is again your repository. So nothing to do here, people, again, because everything is predefined. Everything is predefined. So you know that now you can access the content of any of the this thing, the predefined interfaces. Just look at JPA repository I opened. Control click. You go here and press control click. Open declaration. You can see the contents of the JPA repository, the methods. Okay, just look here. Get by ID, get reference by ID, find all. Just look here. Find all. This method we are calling. It's which method? Which interface? JPA repository. This method we are implementing. So now we'll go to the service. Service. So we have a method called as I not written any method for updating. I not written any method for updating. Okay, before update, I'll explain delete by ID. Delete, it will be easy. Okay, so delete product by ID. So in the service class, we have written a method delete product by ID. So this method requires what? ID as a parameter. So delete by ID is a method, and we are passing that ID to the JPA repository. So this is predefined. So this is a JPA repository method. So in the controller, I'm calling this delete product by ID. Okay, in the controller. Yes, delete product by ID. Fine. So now before that, we have written a method delete product. So here we are using an annotation. When you want to take a variable as an annotation, then we have to use request param annotation. When you want to take a variables as a parameter to a method, then you have to use request parameter as an annotation. When you want to take the object as a parameter from the form, then you have to use model attribute annotation. Okay, so here I'm taking ID as annotation. So I want to pass that ID, which product ID you want to delete, based on which product ID you want to delete. That's why I'm using request parameter. And here it is referenced as ID. So just look here, p service dot delete product by ID, and I'm passing this. Okay, so once I delete a product, it has to be redirected to the products.jsp file. Okay, what does product.jsp file do for us? Again, it will fetch the fresh records and it will display a products after deleting. Okay, so this is the method you are calling in the service class, and in the service class, it calls the JPA repo method. It calls the JPA repo method. Okay, so what's happening here? So just look, I'll try to delete this pen drive. I'll try to delete the pen drive product. So I will put a button here. I will click on delete. Are you sure you want to delete this product? Okay. Cancel. It will remain like that. Delete. Just say okay. My pen drive is deleted. The 6th record was deleted. So based on ID, it is deleting, people. Based on ID, it is deleting. So how it is deleting again? As I told you, the coding part. This is the method, predefined method. So from where you are calling this? From the controller. So what it requires? ID as a parameter. Okay. So from where you will get this parameter? From which point you are getting this parameter? ID? Tell me, from which point you are getting this parameter? From which file? Products.jsp. Okay. So I have this, look here. The last column is nothing but a button. Okay. The last column is a button or a URL. Yeah, URL. So C colon URL, variable equals delete link, value equals slash delete. Okay. So you are passing parameter, name equals ID, and value equals product ID. So from here you are passing, and we are displaying what? URL. URL refers to what? Hyperlink. Okay. This we are given CSS. That is why you are getting a button there. Why you are getting a button here? Because we are given a CSS. That URL hyperlink is converted into a button. So just look here, and with that button, we are passing a parameter ID, And the value for that is product.id. What is it, people? This. So 5 is passed on the delete controller. So just look here. Variable equals delete link. Value equals slash delete. Okay. So what is this delete link? So before that, as I told you previously, we have created a links here. Sorry, not this one, people. I wanted to show you this. Hyperlink. Delete link. Anchor href equals delete link. So this is a hyperlink. This is a hyperlink, and delete link is having this property. It is having a value slash edit. Sorry, this is a delete link. Na? This one. Delete link. Value equals slash delete. And for that, we are passing the parameter id. And what is the value of this id? Okay. So this will be having, this delete link will be having these properties. This delete link will be having the property of this. So it is calling this particular mapping name. Where is it? Where is this mapping? What's the point? When you click on the button, delete link, it will have the properties of this, whatever you defined here. So name of that link with the value slash delete, and with the parameter id. What is the value of an id? Product.id. So when I click on this link, delete link, it will have this id 5, and that will be passed. That will be passed. Okay. So delete link will is mapped with the value slash delete. So in the controller, you can just look here with the name. You'll go here, and that id is taken. id is taken. In case here, if you are given PID, will it work? Here I will give PID. Will that work there? No. Here we are passing what? Parameter with the name? ID only. So same is taken in the request para. Okay. And it is referenced with again one more name ID. And that ID is passed. So what happens now? The product ID with the 2 or whatever will be deleted. So just make a note of this. What is this, people? Mapping name of the method in controller. This is the mapping name of the method in the controller, which is mapped with this particular thing. And this we are using here. So that is why your product gets deleted. Okay. So now we have updates. Now for example, I want to update the price of laptop. I want to update the price of laptop. So I have a update link here. I'll just click on update button. It's coming preloaded with the values. Why? I want to update. So you can update anything except the product ID. You can update anything except the product ID. You can update anything. So I'm updating the price. Okay. So from 50,000, I am reducing the price to 45,000. Previously it was 50,000, right? So now updating the price to 45,000. Click on save. I'll update the price of cell phone. It's 20,000. From 20,000, I'll update to 30,000, for example. Click on, and instead of India, I'll just make it as Korea. Korea, 30,000. Previously it was what? India and 20,000. This is what called as update product. So just look, I can't delete this. This product ID I can't delete. Okay. I can't delete because I made it read only. The rest are all I can delete it. Okay. So like that, people. So updating the values. So indirectly update means what? Saving only. So it will call which method? Save method. We'll call save method only. But before that, just look here. As soon as I click on update button, I'm getting values predefined here, preloaded. Why is it? Because of which method? Which JPA repository method I'm using? Get by ID. What is get by ID? To get a single record. So I'm getting a record for which product ID? 2. We're getting a product for this particular product ID. So first thing where you should check here in the service class. In the service class. So just look here people. We have written a method called as find by ID. Okay. And this will take this ID. So why we are given long here people? We are given long here. Why not int? Because what is ID? The primary key field. What is the type here? Long. So the product service, we are using this method find by ID. So get product by ID. So here this will get a single product. This will get a single product. This will get a single product. Okay. So again, we need to go to the product controller. So here, yeah, before that, I need to create a new form. Before that, we need to create a form. You can observe, right? So when I click on update product, when I click on update product, a new form is loaded. A new form is loaded. Okay. A new form is loaded. So when I click on this update button, a new form is loaded. So just look at this point. So again, we need to go to product.jsp, product.jsp. So before that, I have created one more link, update link with the value. What is this people? Mapping name for the method in which one? Controller. And we are passing again same parameter, product ID are passing. So just look here. And the previous case, just look here. I have written a for on click directly. I'm just using the JavaScript statement. That dialog box you're getting now. Pop up. Are you sure you want to delete? Here only I'm just writing this JavaScript code. Hmm? So here anchor href update link. That's the update button. Okay. So again, this is a normal hyperlink. We are given CSS for that. So that is why we are displaying a button. So here we have a update link. Is it not? So in this update link, what you are defined? Mapping method name, and I'm passing parameter for that. What is that? Product ID. So I'll go to the product controller. Where is update? Update or edit? What was it? Yeah, edit. The mapping name is edit. So you can just look here. Here we have. So this is also taking what? The ID of the product you want to. Okay. Now you just look here, people. I'm creating a new object of. Yeah. Here I'm using model and view. Here I'm using model and view. In the previous case, just look here, people. We're using plain model just to add an attribute. We can also use model and view. This is one more container for containing attributes as well as view. Just understand. What is model? It's a container for only attributes. Model and view is, as the name itself tells, it's a container for model plus view. What is model map? It's a container for collection of many attributes. Model map. Three things are there. Model, only attribute, model and view, model plus, attribute plus view. Model map is collection of many models. Like same you have what? Which map? Hash map in Java. Similarly. Okay. So model and we will have both model attribute and view, or model as well as view. So first we are creating an object of this with this particular model view edit product. Okay. And we are getting the product. Just look here. P service dot get product by ID. What is this? What is this method doing? What is this method doing? It gets single product. The method name only tells, right? Get product by ID and stores in this a single product. Okay. Now is nothing but that model and view object. Now here we are using add object method. Whereas model and model have which method? Add attribute. Here we have add object and we are adding which one? The product object, we got it. So what does this has, people? Model plus, it has model plus view. Which is the model here? Which is the model here? Product object, single product. Okay. And what is the view here? Which is the view here? Added product. So just now I showed you that now get product by ID, which is having we are written a method to get a single product. So that we are getting and we are storing in product. So this has now product plus this view. So where is it, people? We have designed this. Okay. So it will take that particular product object we are sending here in model attribute. Okay. The name of the form is this. So just look here. We are given some property called as value. We're given a property called as value. So input type equals text, name equals ID, value, everywhere, value, everywhere, value, everywhere, value. With what? Product dot name, product dot brand, product dot made in. Why is it? What is the use of this? If you see in product dot JSP also we have created same. Not product. What is that? Add product. For adding a new product also we have this. But here we are not giving value. We just define what? Input type text and name property. But in edit product we are giving this. What is the reason behind it? Yes. It is populating with the predefined values, right? Just look here. When you create a new product, it's an empty form. But when you are updating a product, it is preloaded with the values. Okay. And for that reason, we are using this value. So where is it? It's in this particular object, whichever you passed. Model attribute. Okay. Product ID. What is this? We are using EL here. Again, expression language, product name, product brand, made in, everything is loaded. So here you can just observe here, for product ID, I made it what? So that is only you cannot edit. That's why you cannot edit. Got the point? Okay. So that is why this particular form will be loaded. And when you make the changes, it will go to which one? Save. What is save, people? Whatever method you have written previously to save the data. Whatever method you have written previously to save the data. So we are reusing it. So save and update is one and the same. So do we require any other JPA method for this? No. We are directly calling the save method. Where is it? Here. Okay. So it will call the save product method and it will redirect to products. It will display the latest list of products in a database with the updated one. So this is what we are doing in the CRUD operations here. We are creating, we are updating, and we are deleting. Okay. Welcome everyone. So what did you observe here? Only thing is there are many files that you have to understand everything and everything is happening. The flow you will understand. That is very easy to work with the data response. How the flow of the application is. On the screen is the Let's say I want to call it a JSP file. I want to display JSP file. I can display definitely no. I need to make it. Then I need to make a method to display the JSP file. I put the name. This is different. That is the behavior. The rest of everything is a plain Pojon. So now you can observe here, I created this login and register. Login and register. Okay. So this we did extra, which will display the Bitcoin rates. Then otherwise you will not be shown the products page. Only if you log in, then only it will show the products page. Okay. So now we will see this login and registration. Okay. So what is the login and registration? First, okay, how to create a this is the user and I will log in. What is the first thing you will be doing? No, how will you create? The program is a better. You will have a lot. Right? Because we can number of even if you want to structure for that user. And it properties for user. So we don't have to property. How to create this before? So the environment, whatever equal. So we will come from model part and we create it. Yes, okay, when you make a model class. What's the model class? Next. Form. 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 This will be a form. This will be a form. Actually, I never back at our begin. Yes, I'm going to follow the What is the model class created? You created it. What is the request study so that you do from next you created? So just look at people. As usual, in the same model package, I am created a file model class called as user. Got the point? I created a model class called as user. So what are the properties? As usual, ID, email, fname, lname, password, date of birth, and phone number. Got the point? So I require this many things for my registration of a user. Like if you want more, and again we are not doing any one-to-many relationship. We are not doing any one-to-many relationship. I'll show in the next exercise. That is nothing but when I do Spring REST. Okay, I'll show that one-to-many relationships in the next example, next project. So here I want to store my user details in a single table. In mapping, I'll be storing my details in multiple tables. So here we have the fields. I defined it. I'm giving entity as usual. I'm using table annotation. It's not mandatory. Still, I'm just giving so that table name will be user. This is for auto generation. And here I'm just giving the column as ID, one annotation called as column. In the previous examples, we are not given that. So what is my property name, people here? F name. My property name is F name. But in database, what I better understand, I want to say it as first name, last name. This is why you can modify the annotation. If I don't give this, what is my table column? L name. I want this. Okay, so that's why. That's all. And rest are all same. Getters and setters. So next, what you guys told? We need to create a user repository. Extends. Then, so first we are thinking about registration. Okay. First, I'm thinking about registration. So for registration, you forget about this. Forget about this. When I do registration, I don't require this. Okay, it's an empty file. It's an empty file which is extended with the JPA repository. Yes. What next? What I said? Service class. We'll create a service class. So we have a user service. I create a class with the name user. I have a annotated service and transactional. Okay. Now just look here. I'm creating an instance of which one? User repository. We create an instance of user repository. Just look here. I've created a method save user, which will take what? User object. It is same as in the previous case. What we took? Product object to be saved. So user object, and I'm saving it. Just look here. Urepo dot save. And what I'm saving? Object of user u. That's all. Yes. What next? Controller. We need to design a controller. Here, I'll just take a wow, stop. First, when I click on that, this is the button, here is the part of the display. I will create a display. So, this is the scenario, people. So, when I click on register here, when I click on register, I'm getting a registration file. So, what are these? Text boxes, password field. I have a date field, HTML ka. This is plain HTML. Phone number. So, what is this? This is mapped with what? Your model class user. Okay. So, we have designed this form. What is this? Plain HTML and CSS. It's a Spring MVC form. What is this? Register.jsp. Okay. Yeah, it's a MVC form. Spring based MVC form. Same model attribute, user. Just look at placeholder, all we are given. You know HTML, na? These are all that stuff. So, phone numbers, pattern. Just look here. We're giving validations also. HTML5 validations. Very much important. And when this form should be loaded. Of course, we have created a form. So, after we create a form, what is the next step? Now we need to go to the controller. I need to create a controller with the name user controller. With annotation, this. With annotation, this. And I'm creating an instance of user service. We're creating a instance of user service. And just look here. View register page. I created a method called as view register page. So I'm creating an instance of user, adding that user with the attribute name user. So what does this register has now? Model and view. This is same as your product. Same as your product. So this is mapped with the name register. So in the register.jsp, you can just see form action. Where is it? Yeah, before that. In the index.jsp. Sorry, where is this index? Yeah. In the index.jsp, I have given a hyperlink for register. This is what happened, is it not? When I click on the register, this will be loaded. So what is that page? Index.jsp page. So here we are giving a link to register. So where is this register? It's in the controller. User controller. User controller. Okay, register. So here we are creating an object of user which you want to register, adding as an attribute, and we are loading what? Register JSP file. So when this page is loaded, what is the object in this view? What is the name of the object in this view? Okay. So return register. So I'll now just look here. During this process, a new table will be created because we have created what? New class. So new table will be created to maintain the users. To maintain the users. Here also we are using base 64. What is base 64? Base 64 encryption. My password will be encrypted in the in the database table. So this as the user objects, I will register a new user. What's your girlfriend's name? No girlfriend. Huh? Very bad. So just look at this, will get the date controller. Okay, you can select the yes. Now just look at this as a user object. This as a user object. So I'll just click on sign me up. So it is registered successfully. Once registered successfully, it is coming to what? My login page. Okay. So just sorry, index page. So just to make sure a user table is created, people. User table will be created automatically. I'll refresh. User table will be created, and these are the fields. Okay. Just look at email. I given it as unique. Uniqueness. Just look here in the this also I just wanted to show. Yes. Column unique equals true. For this also you could have given. Just look here. Email and phone number should be unique. Name can be the same, but column and this one. Email and phone number should be unique. So make sure that column unique equals true. This annotation should be. This is a very good one. Okay. So that is why you are getting this key. Just look at ID. All these things are created. Just go to data. Yeah. Kushal at Sidak. First name, last name. His password is encrypted. Phone number. This is without one to mapping. This is without any mappings. So my information is stored in a single table. Okay. So you enter the data in the form. From the form, it is going and storing it in a table. Same as your products. How did you say product? Now? Same way. So now we'll try to, yeah, before that, I'll just show the code, what we did. So how it is registering. So it's because of the user controller, as I was explaining here. So it will display register.jsp, is it not? So in the register.jsp, as you enter, we are mapping for this. What is that? Save user. When you click on the register button, it will take you to the save user. So now in the user controller, we have this save user. The user controller, we have this save user mapping. So what's happening here? Use service dot save user u. So it will take that object, model attribute, user. So where is it? The register.jsp. Okay. So it will take that model attribute user. Here it is referenced as U. So that I'm trying to save the user U. Interacts the service layer for DB logic implementation. So it will invoke the service method. And once it is done, it will redirect to index. So that is why once registered, it is coming here. So here you could have given a message, registered successfully, registered successfully, like that. Similarly, now we'll do login. Okay, just 5 minutes, then we'll go for a break. Now we'll do login. So once I registered successfully, now I'll do login here. So this is again CSS, HTML and CSS. This is HTML and CSS. So again, if I want to do the login operation, again we'll start from where? Again, if I want to do login operation, what is the next step we will do? Yeah, the first thing we will define model. We will define model for login. This is the map. We have the user. Okay, registration will create a user class. User class for that. Now for login, you are a new model class. No. I just say model class only. If you just create a new class, what happens? The new table will be created. I'm using the existing extent only. So forget about the model class. Your username and password is stored there. No model class. Directly go to that. So now you need to decide on what basis will be the. Remember registration, what was the field? What are the fields in registration? Out of this, which field you will be logging in? Email field. Okay, nowadays it's all email fields only, right? Otherwise, you could have created on user ID, of course. So I want to log in using email field. The rest of all, I cannot. Okay. So now, if I want to log in using an email field, it's a non-ID field. It's a non-primary field. Okay. Of course, we don't know model. We will start with the repository. So it's the repository. It's the same file, people. So user repository. Same repository we'll be using. Just look here. For all the product operations, we use what? Product repository. For all the service operations of the product service, product control, like that. So now product repository. So what is this, people? Custom method to fetch or record or an object based on email field. What is this? Non-ID field. Let's say record and valid. And then it's pretty fun. When it's pretty fun, I want to fetch a record based on it. What we need to write? Custom method. What do you like? We are not writing any logic for that. Just declarations. Public user. Of course, I require a user. User object. Find by. It should be specifically like this in camel casing. F should be small. The next word will be first letter caps B. Email. It's a property. Email is a property. And E should be caps. It's full camel casing. So this email name, no? Email name. It should be exactly how you define in the model class. If there is any little spelling mistake, it will not work. So we are writing the custom method find by email, which will take the parameter email. Okay. So I showed you that custom method. Same. Find by title, find distinct by category, find by title and category, like that. So what is this? We are writing a custom method to fetch a record based on non-primary key. Okay, just look here. We are not writing any logic. We are ending it with what? Semicolon. Nothing to write a logic here. We are ending it with a semicolon. Yes. So now, when you use the semicolon. Okay. So now I'll go to the service. What is that? User service. No? User service. Just look, I'm writing my method. This find by email. Here I'm calling that urepo dot find by email. I need to pass the email field. Here we are invoking what? Custom method. Here we are invoking custom method. Okay, clear? So now we need to go to which one? Controller. So before that, I've written a method to load a login form. We written a method to load a login form. Okay. So just look here, people. Here, when I click on this login form is loaded, is it not? So this is a JSP file again. Here we are using HTML form. Okay, plain HTML form with the CSS. So just look here, return login. Yes, that's all. Now you can just see the contents of the login.jsp here. Sorry, this is also Spring MVC only. Here, just look here. Login user. Login user. Model attribute e-user. Here we are defining an object called as e-user. Just make a note of this. Method equals post. Type equals submit login. So e-login form. Action login user. So where is it? It's a controller here. Login. Got it? Yes. Here, just look here, people. I'm using this HTTP servlet request. HTTP servlet request. Okay. We could also use this, people, user. Okay. This is one more method. So request.get parameter email and password and storing it here. This password, what I got now, I'm encrypting it. I'm calling this method encrypt password because actually it is encrypted there, right? So while you enter the password, it has to encrypt and check with the database. So that is why the same logic I'm written here, encrypt pass, one method, and I am encrypting the password, whatever you entered, and storing it in pass2. Okay. So here, this I'll tell you later. Yes. So here I'm calling this service method. Find by email, and I'm passing the email ID what you entered. So checks user exists or not. So if it is null, it will just say user does not exist. Else if email dot equals u dot get email and pass2 equals u dot get password. So here u refers to the user. Where is it? The user you got from the database. If it exists. If it exists. And what is this? Email and pass2? Whatever you entered in the form. This email and pass2 or whatever content you entered in the login form. And u dot get email is what? Whatever you got from the database. Okay. First I'm checking whether the user exists with this particular email. If he exists, if it does not exist, you have this. Otherwise, we are loading the products page. We are loading the products page. Okay, it will be the list of products. With the list of products. And here I've written some logic for displaying the person who has logged in. So I'm using some string tokenizer to break my email before @ symbol. So if Kushal at cdac.com, I should display only Kushal. Welcome, Kushal. So that's why I'm using the string tokenizer, a plain Java class to break the email ID based on this and storing in S2. Okay. So here I'm creating a session. I'm creating a HTTP session with the content of the S2 and storing it as a session attribute with the name user, and this is added as an object to the model and view. Okay, and we are adding that list products also. Here, just look here. After logging, I also require this list of products. So that is why I'm creating an instance of this people. Once the person logins now, I need to call the content of the product.jsp has to be loaded. Once the user logins, just look here, people. Now, so I'll just give Kushal at test.com, for example. Some password I'll give. So it will just say user does not exist. So next, I'll give the correct email ID, cdac.com. Okay, but I'll give the password wrong. Invalid password. So I'll give the correct password. So it is logging in plus it is displaying the name of the user. Name of the user. This is done through HTTP session. This is done through HTTP session. I'm displaying the product list. So once I log in, also we require these people. What is that? Displaying of user. So that is why displaying of products. So that is why I'm creating an instance of product service. And once the login is successful, right? It will call the list all method from the product service. Okay. And I also logic written here. Similarly, when I just say log out, it will take you to my home page. Okay. So for that also we have written a code in product.jsp. So when you're free, please check that again. Here. Log out. We're getting that username and displaying here. So when you just click on this button log out, it is taking to my this link. Log out. So where is it? Again, it's a part of user controller. What we are trying? We're removing the attribute user. What is this command? To log out. Invalidate. Session dot invalidate. When the login is successful, what we did? We created a session. So once that is done, we are invalidating it. And we're returning to index. Okay.